Have you ever wondered why some setbacks leave you feeling completely defeated and others spark some unexpected growth that happens for you? What if the very experience that maybe feels like your biggest failure right now is actually preparing you to help others in ways that no one else can? And so here's a thought that might shift things for you. What if starting over isn't about erasing your past, but about transforming it into your most powerful gift? Now, my name's Jake Talbert. I'm the founder and author of the GIVER method. And today we're going to be diving into and exploring something that is extremely personal to me, and I believe will have a massive impact on you. And that's how to turn your setbacks into your unique superpowers for creating impact for those who are in your sphere of influence, those who are around you the most. Now, before we dive into that, if you're new here, please hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I love when people leave their comments along the way. Like the video, of course, share it after we're done with maybe someone who needs it. I always say, though, you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or go to the GIVER method or thegivermethodbook.com, so thegivermethod.com or thegivermethodbook.com, and you can get on the newsletter list or on the list for my book that's going to be coming out next month called The GIVER Method. With the newsletter, with the videos, with subscribing, all those types of things. Like, we don't want you to miss out on any of the content that we put out about unleashing your gifts and superpowers and creating more meaningful impact. Now, if you are new here, I want to cover what the GIVER method is. Naturally, there's a bunch of videos on the channel where I break down the GIVER method, so you can go check them out. And even the head video on the channel breaks it down exactly what the GIVER method is. So highly recommend after this video you go check that out. But essentially, GIVER's an acronym where what we're doing is we're trying to help people to discover and develop your unique gifts and superpowers, and to use them in a way to create value for those that are in your sphere of influence so that you can make impactful and intentional change and impact in their lives. What that leads to is that's going to lead to deeper, more meaningful engagements and relationships. And in reality, the biggest things are you're able to make a greater impact in your world. You're able to step into who it is that you're meant to be. And when people do this, develop their gifts and superpowers and give them, especially without expecting anything in return, the universe always has a way of paying them back. Now, it may not be every single time, but I've just seen it time and time again that when you develop them and give them that way, that the universe will pay you back. So as we're talking about this idea of setbacks and challenges, things, roadblocks that may have come on along the way in your life, it's even more important that we look at it from how we develop that and your gifts and superpowers so we can make greater impact moving forward. All right, so that's what the kind of the breakdown of how everything is. And we're going to focus on like challenges and how we can make them be the very tools that help others to navigate their journey. Now, as I go through each of these principles and these items, I'm going to cover what it is, how you use it, probably tell a story in some cases, and then at the end of each one of them, I'm going to have an action item. So I recommend you grab a piece of paper or open up a note and jot down your thoughts while I give the action item. These action items are things that you could go do today or this week that will start making a change for you. And it's great that you're watching the video, but the thing that's actually going to have the greatest impact on your life is the steps that you take after. And so these action items are easy to do and easy to start seeing a change within your life. So grab a piece of paper, open up that note. That way we can start rolling through things. So let's start diving in, how we are transforming our setbacks into stepping stones for growth, for gifts, for superpowers, and to create the impact that we want. Great. So our first one is going to be the story of transformation. All right. Every setback that we encounter carries two possible stories. The one that focuses on your loss and your frustration, and the one that emphasizes resilience and growth. The way we frame our story, not only how we view our experience, but also how we can use it to help others. So there's things like the survival story, which focuses on what we endure, and while the growth story highlights the insights and the strengths we gained along the way. Which do you think is the one that people gravitate more towards, the survival or the growth? You can describe surviving, but also describe the growth that came after. So it's not just about positive thinking, it's about uncovering wisdom that can serve as guidance for others navigating similar struggles. So what you do is you look at, you take your story and you transform it. You start by acknowledging that there are difficult emotions involved in setbacks. But don't stop there. Don't stop from that point. Focus on the lessons that you took away. What's the new perspective you gained, or the new strength that you discovered? And when you share a growth-oriented story with others, you offer them hope and a blueprint to overcome like their very own challenges. I often tell the story of Setback where I had been working. I'd multiple times been able to get the jobs that I wanted. If I applied for a job, I got it. If I interviewed, I got it. And I had this great ability to be able to present myself in a way that employers wanted to hire me. And I ended up in a little bit of a setback, which was I was in a job that I wasn't happy with, and it was probably beneath where I needed to be at that point in life. And I woke up one day and I realized that. And I found a job that I considered to be a dream job, something that would change my life. And I went and I applied for it. And I was like, you know what, I got this. And then I got turned down. And I was distraught. I was broken up. I was like, this was going to be my path out of where I was. And luckily, though, the owner of the company provided me some valuable insight and said, gave me tips of, if you're ever going to interview anywhere, here are things that you should do. And he said, you're a good interviewer, but you need to be able to present yourself in a way that makes me realize why you want to be here and why this is the vehicle to get you where you want to go over the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever that may look like. Which still hit me hard. It took me months to get over that. And it wasn't until months later where I started to realize that he was right. And that I had all these great skills that I could use, but I needed to be focused on the bigger picture. What were my values? What was my purpose? Where was I going? And luckily, a year later, they opened another position, and I attacked that one with every bit of idea and thought that he gave to it. Every suggestion he made to me, I incorporated. And although I wasn't the most qualified for that position going through, I was the one that got the position. And it started with a setback that hit me really hard of, I'm going to be stuck in this role that I don't like and stuck doing this thing, yet being able to come out the other side in a positive light. So action step here for you is like, take whatever setback you have. It could be your biggest one. It could be a one that you think about a lot, and write two versions. Write out the survival story and then write out the growth story. And in the growth story, focus on the lessons that you learned and how these insights can support others who are facing maybe similar challenges. Share this version with someone. Think of someone who might benefit from it and offer them a fresh perspective on whatever their setback is. Now, the second one that I want to cover is the pain to purpose, like creating a pathway from pain to purpose. Because often our greatest struggles become the foundation of what our purpose is, like the story I just described. The pain and the difficulties we faced aren't just obstacles to overcome. They're signposts pointing you towards areas where we can make meaningful impact. And as I reflect back on that story that I told, I've been able to make so much more meaningful impact through helping small businesses and changing the way that they are able to run and show up within their, to their organization and to their families. And like the impact's been so crazy big, and it started by being told no and not getting what I wanted. Because when we use experiences as a guide, when we use our experiences to help others, guide others through similar challenges, our pain, gains even more purpose. Like this path doesn't only allow us to help others, but it brings a depth of clarity on your own journey, and it creates this sense of, fulfillment and connection. And so the way you do this is you reflect on specific hardships that you've navigated and consider how those experiences have equipped you to help others. Think about resources or strategies, insights that you have developed. Like sharing these with those who struggle, or are struggling, it provides them with valuable tools and reminds them that your journey holds significance beyond yourself. I had a massive setback in my life financially, and I still to this day will share the tips that I learned that helped me to completely change where I was at in my finances, and helping me to go on and to buy the home I wanted and live the life that I want to live. So your action item here is to maybe write down 3 different things, difficulties, struggles that you've overcome, and for each one, maybe identify specific ways where your experience could help others, and then choose one insight and create maybe some sort of a simple, like, how would I guide someone through this? Or maybe it's a resource you create, and you want to be focusing on the practical steps that could support someone else facing similar challenges. Now, the third one is, I talk a lot about creating there's this ripple effect, and with impact, well, there's a resilience ripple that you can create. The way you respond to the setbacks not only impacts us, it really does create that ripple effect that influences those around us. When others see us face challenges with resilience, it inspires them to approach their own difficulties with courage. I've told a story in plenty of other videos and in the book of there have been times where, when working, that things seemed shaky within a business I was at, and that multiple people said, I would start to get concerned, but then I looked over and I saw you, and you were always so calm, and you always had a positive outlook, and you always found the ways that we were going to, you were always looking for the ways that we could climb out of the hole that we were in, which we did climb out of. And so they would say, it gave me more confidence and made me start to think of the ways that we could dig out of that hole as well. And so resilience, it is contagious. Our decisions keep us moving forward through tough times, and it serves as, a light or a beacon that others, for others to gravitate towards who may have been losing hope. And this effect, it reminds us that, our journey holds meaning and influence far beyond ourselves. So what you want to do is you want to make a conscious effort to embrace resilience, even in small actions. And I recommend that you document steps and mind shifts that you may have had that helped you move forward. You could do that through journaling, however you choose to document that sort of thing. And these can serve as a framework or an example for someone who, might need guidance to build their own resilience. So think back, what's that setback you had? It could be recent, maybe a little bit longer back, and document that recovery process. Focus on the practical steps that helped you regain your momentum, and then share that with someone. Find someone who could benefit from it, and create the way that you can guide them and help them to, create and cultivate resilience in their own lives. Now, the fourth thing I want to cover is I'm just going to refer to as, because I like coming up with titles, the wisdom well is what we'll call it. Every setback, it adds to our personal well of wisdom. It's a source of insight and lessons that can guide us and benefit others. This sort of a well represents the strength and knowledge we've accumulated through overcoming our challenges, and it provides us with resources to support others. When we draw on our own well of wisdom, we transform past pain into a present purpose, and sharing hard-earned lessons in a way that offers real value to those who need guidance. So what you do is regularly reflect on the lessons you've learned from your challenges. Document them. Once again, keep a rolling thing in a journal where you look at the insights and the lessons learned, or a lessons learned library that you have, and that you can turn to when others are seeking support, or when you need a reminder for your own resilience. So create that lesson library. The action step is create that catalog of insights and strategies from your setbacks. And as new challenges arise, add them to the collection. Look for new opportunities to share these lessons with others, whether it's through your friends and family, or a mentorship, or writing, or casual conversation. Share them, because it helps build others up. Now, the fifth thing is this catalyst of connection. So setbacks have this unique way of creating empathy and understanding between people. We've all, if we've been down the same road as somebody else, we can feel for where they've been. Now, when we open up about our challenges, we become more relatable, more inviting to others, and it allows us to connect with them deeper on a more authentic level. It starts with vulnerability, and it's going to create and foster this space where genuine connections can really grow. And mutual support there becomes a powerful tool for healing and growth. So you embrace the courage to be vulnerable. I'm going to be vulnerable about my setbacks, whether it's as I'm in a one-on-one setting or a group setting, and recognize that sharing experiences isn't about seeking sort of a sympathy or pat on the back. It's about building connections and offering hope. Vulnerability is the bridge that allows others to see ourselves on that journey. I know that there are plenty of times when I'm working with men through my church, and that as I open up more and more and be more vulnerable about certain things about my past and how I feel, it has caused every other person in the group, as we're going through a discussion, to open up as well and be more vulnerable. And we've grown closer together as a group because of that. And so the action step here is, find might be friends and family, it might be an external group, but find some sort of a group that focuses on a shared challenge, and practice sharing your experiences openly. Focus on the insights and hope that you can provide to others, and notice how these connections deepen as you offer your unique perspectives and support to others. Now, the sixth thing is going to be creating this gateway of growth, because every setback, it presents you with a pivotal choice to let us either hold back or to use it as this catalyst, this growth, this gateway, this catapult to growth. Like when we choose growth, we don't just evolve personally, we expand our capacity to support and uplift others as well. So challenges make us stronger, more compassionate, and better equipped us to help others with their own struggles. Like choosing growth turns obstacles into opportunities, not only for ourselves, but for everyone that we interact with. So go and identify how each setback has, expanded your knowledge, your strength, or your empathy, and look for the ways that these qualities are, in service to others. And choosing growth means that you're going to be recognizing that our challenges can become strengths and empower others. So action item here is identify one area where a setback has made you stronger or more knowledgeable, and consider how you could share that strength with others, one-on-one, mentoring, speaking, teaching. Like your experience is going to inspire others to see setbacks as opportunity for growth. And so, of course, our last one is what I call the momentum maker. Taking small, consistent steps forward after a setback creates momentum that not only fuels your own progress, but inspires others watching your journey. Momentum doesn't require grand gestures. It's built through the small actions and the decisions that we're just going to keep moving forward. Each step serves as a reminder that the setback we've experienced, it's not going to define us. Like they're just a part of the journey that we're on. And when others witness this commitment and moving forward, it will encourage them to do the same. So you set these daily intentions, small goals that will help you to maintain your sense of moving forward. Share these small steps with others as a way to create shared sense of motivation or accountability. Every step reinforces the progress that you've made and demonstrates resilience. And so your action item here is going to be to create what's the forward focus plan you have? Outline small daily actions that help you work towards whatever your goals are. Share the plan with someone. Find someone maybe that would benefit from that sort of an encouragement to keep moving forward, and encourage them to track their own small steps alongside yours. Now, along the way, there are going to be, as people are working towards coming back from these setbacks, there are struggles that come up that I hear from time to time. And so I want to cover just some of those real quick. People have this fear of being defined by what their setback was. So what you want to do is just focus on your experience, how it positions you to help others. Your setback is a part of your story. It's not your whole story. They look at this, one of the struggles is this idea of comparing, that's a trap, a comparison trap. And remember that your journey is unique, including your setbacks. It creates a very distinctive ways that you can serve others that no one else can offer. It helps you to create your gifts and superpowers in a way that no one else can deliver those. One of the other struggles is this idea of timing pressure. Trust that your process of recovery and growth is preparing you to help others. Just trust the process and keep taking those small steps forward. And then, of course, the fourth one is people have a hesitation for vulnerability. So start sharing in maybe some safe spaces, smaller groups, people who are close to you, and focus on how your experience might benefit others, and then start to grow it from there. I wasn't vulnerable for a long time. I wouldn't open up about anything, and it took small and simple things with my wife, and then with my family and friends, and to where now I can be more vulnerable, more open with more people. Now, your setbacks, once again, they're not just personal obstacles to overcome. They actually are unique gifts that can help others navigate their own challenges. So starting again isn't about erasing the past. It's about transforming it into a bridge that you and others can cross. So if you're ready to explore more about this idea of taking setbacks and as looking at them as stepping stones of growth, and identifying, developing your gifts and superpowers so that you can make a greater impact, then I'm going to encourage you to go to thegivermethod.com and join the newsletter list so that you can get exclusive insights about creating value through your experiences and delivering those to others. Also, thegivermethodbook.com, if you want to get on the pre-launch list, there's some bonuses there that you can get access to and be notified when the book comes out so that you can go purchase it and get it first. And then, of course, if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone else. I always love when people can make that ripple effect happen by sharing with others. In the comments, tell us maybe what was a setback you had that became a stepping stone in your life. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And so until next time, keep growing, keep giving, and remember the setbacks that you've experienced, or that you could be experiencing right now, they might be preparing you for what could be your greatest contribution. So just keep moving forward and believe in yourself so that you can step into who it is that you're meant to be, and you can invite the universe to start paying you back. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.